Right, what's happening? Yeah, it's that time again, it's story time. Now, this is called Love in LA. Right now, do you know what? I owe these kids a big favour, you know. And if you listen to this now, which I'm sure some of you are, because I still take contact, oh, you're going to know what's coming next. Right now, you know, in Liverpool, it's not diverse. Well, I'm not saying it's not diverse. It is diverse. And, you know, people get along with everyone and all that. But in my own personal opinion, I'm not saying that's what it is, but in my own personal opinion, you've got the lads from Toxteth and all that. And they sort of have, like, stay away from the north end, and I don't mean stay away, but they don't let no one get after it, and then we don't go round there, and then the south end, and then such and such, right? So what happens is, in the graft world and the underworld, it's a little bit clashy. Do you understand what I mean by that? And you know it is, and I know it is, and you know, you've got some people who are a little bit the R word from there, and a little bit the R word from here, but me personally, I don't care, right? So I'm going to get into this now, and I'm not even going to be delicate about it. I'm going to tell you how it is, and that's that. And you know me, and the people who are listening to this and who I'm talking about, you know me. So it is what it is. No, I'm not asked what anyone thinks or says about me. You know me. So I don't care what someone he's dated. No. Listen, let's get this straight now. I do not give a fuck where you're from, as long as you're sound. I don't care what you look like, I don't care what colour you are, I don't care none, I don't care anything at all, as long as you sound, yeah, it doesn't matter to me, it means nothing to me, it means absolutely nothing to me, but that's not always the case, and especially when people are bevy and time. So I meet this bird, and she's a half-caste girl, and she's lovely, proper lovely. I still speak to her now and again. Now I'm not with her no more, but we're still alright mates and a brother. Mate, her brother's a belter right now. What happens is, she was a little bit wary at first, right? And she said to me, I met her, and where I met her, I only met her at daytime as well. And I said, oh, what's happening? And we were talking. Now, when I went to pick her up and that, she went, you're going to have to wait round the corner. And I said, why? She said, because my brother and that. I said, because your brother and that, what does that even mean? She's like, I said, what, because I'm white? And she's like, no. I said, well, it is though, isn't it? I said, well, what other reason could it be? She's like, oh no, well, no, just like trying to blend. But I'm not saying that's what it was, and I know now that's not what it was, but at the time I was thinking, you know, that's a bit heavy, this is never going to work. So she comes out, gets in the car, we go for the scan and all that, we go to Chinatown, we're having a laugh, we're vibing, everything's and all that. So I said, what do you want to come out tonight? And she's like, yeah, where should we go? I said, I don't know. I said, where do you like going? So she mentioned this bar, and this bar, right, is, you know what, it is though, it's yeah, let's just say, it's where the lads from round that area all go, and you know, you don't really see white lads in there, do you know what I mean? But I'm not shy, I'm not scared, I'm not affronted, I'm not, you know, it is what it is. If that's where she wants to go, that's where she wants to go. Listen to this. So, walks into this bar. Now, on the door on this bar, my mates have got that door frame, so the door lads knew me. And they're like, what's that? And he went, lad, what are you doing in here? I went, what's that supposed to mean? He's like, lad, he said, no, and he said to me, you know, lad, just stay by the door and all that, just, I said, what? He went, like, don't go upstairs. I'm like, what are you on about, lad? He's like, lad, he said, lad. Now, these know this bar and whatever, so he must have, you know, they must know things I don't. But yeah, I'm not standing there like some absolute little mushroom and standing by the door. You're mad, aren't you, lad? I can handle it myself now. I'm only on my own with this bird, you've got to remember. So walks in, right, and it's vibing, and, you know, I don't know anyone, I didn't know anyone in there at all, which is rare for me, you know, I knew the lads on the door, but that was about it. So we ended up going upstairs, and it's vibe, it's a nice, you know what, I'd never been in there before, right, and you hear stories and all that, but you know what, I was like, you know what, this is a banger, this is banging in here, you know, it's fucking boss, it's proper boss, everyone's saying that. So I'm like, what's happening, lad? They was like, what's happening, lad? Blah, 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 blah. Someone's like, have you got limo? I'm like, no, I thought, I'm not stepping on toes like that. I'm not walking into, I did have limo, but nah, I'm not spinning in the air. Just out of respect, because I wouldn't like it if it was the way round, you know what I mean? And it's, you know what I mean? The lads who are in this bar, they've been going there for years, and I'm not walking in, taking over the gaff like I'm some big crazy on one, do you know what I mean? I'm just a normal kid, you know what I mean? I'm just a normal kid, you know, doing what I do and that. So, flying, goes in the bogs as a stripe, this kid comes in, kid's like, what's that, this black kid comes in, he's like, what's that, lad? I'm like, what's that? Proper talk and everything sounds and that. And then the other lad's coming, comes in, and as he comes in, this lad walks in, and like, I'm not even messing, right? There's like, this firm have walked in the bogs for the night, there must be about 6 of them. I'm just one of them was a bellend, and it was ridiculous, it stood out, and even his mate was saying to him, lad. So he's going to me, lad, what are you doing here? I said, what am I doing here? He said, not that I have to explain myself to you, lad, but I'm just on a date with some bird. He's like, are you a white girl or a black girl? I said, why does it matter, lad? Just a girl. Do you know what I mean? Why is that got to be a part of it? Now, one of the lads who was in there, he's like, in it, lad, in it. He said, where are you from, lad? So I told him, I said, where are you from, lad? He's like, from by Toxteth, lad, and this, that. I said, Dad, yeah. He's like, so I am round there. I said, I do know a couple of people around there, lad, but I'm not really going into it like that. He's like, I know. Because if you have beef with them, then you're going to rate me straight away. And it's all sound vibing. You know, what time, lad, if you need us, we're over there. Do you want a bevy? Oh, listen to me. It was welcoming, mate. It was proper sound, so mad easy a little bit. But this lad, this one lad in particular, he's only a skinny little Nesbitt as well. The worst little fart ever. No, he was dead tall, but he's just one of them kids who you just flop instantly without a second thought. Forget about what colour you are. I would have put the kid out that fast. It's a shame. Either being a kid before he hit the floor, do you know what I mean? So we're getting on, comes out there. Now I said, see you later, all these lads now coming in and dancing with this bear, just dancing. And this lad, I don't even know what his problem was. He just had this heavy problem with me, you know, for no reason at all. So he's coming over and he's walking past and he's bumping into me and this, that. And I'm just thinking, you know what, I can't really put up with this no more, you know, because, you know, he's belittling me a little bit in front of this bird and you know what, not happening, lad, it's not happening, lad. So these other lads have come over and the bird who I was with, her brother was a bit of a player around the area. I didn't know him, never heard of him before and all that, but I don't really know many people around there. So this other lad comes over and this lad was, you should have seen the side, he was a big kid, he could tell he was a proper handy lad. He's like, what's happening, mate, you alright? I said, hey, what's your name, talking? He went, well, this is my brother's sister. I said, this is me, yeah. He's going, look after her, lad. So I'm like, yeah, you know that lad, you know that, you know what I mean? And he's saying to her, he seems like a nice lad, and he's sound. So everything's all sound, it's vibing. And then just one little tick, boom. I've gone to the toilet, and when I've come out, there's these three lads standing there just as you come out the doors. So as I went to walk past, they started to stop me from walking past. So I stood back and me like, what's that, lad? Mate, the train was being like bang. Absolutely no reason at all. Just digs flying everywhere. So I'm holding my own a little bit, but I'm getting backed into a corner where I'm going to end up getting my head smashed in here. Because a few of them, they're getting me, they're catching me, and they're rocking me. They're not Muppets, you know what I mean? One of them was a Muppet, the one who started with the other two. I don't even know what the beef was. So I'm like backed against the wall here. It's going off, right? It's just proper going off. And now the lads on the doors, they can't see what's going on. But if they would, they'd have ran over and helped me, but they couldn't. So it's just going off, bam, just dig for dig. So I put one of them out, and then the other kid, and then next thing, right, this firm, and I mean this firm, there was about 12 of them, just come flying over, and I was just thinking, shit, it's Cairns, mate. But what happens? They haven't come for me, they've gone for them. Boom! What's happening, lads? Yeah, they've just been like bang. We've dragged them in the box, just like bang. Absolutely give it to these three kids that I mean. Absolutely give it to them. And I'm looking at these lads, and I don't even know them. And they're just like, what's happening? I'm like, what's happening? He's like, yeah, get out of here before it just gets rushed and all that. So then next thing, all these door lads have ran through. One of the door lads been like, you alright? I'm like, yeah. So my kite was bleeding and all that. You know, it's just fucking just gone off, mate. I you know, stood with three of them. Now, I'm not saying I'm anyone, but if I told you, if I get put out or get on the floor here, they are gonna absolutely just stamp all over my kite, and there's nothing I can do about it, yeah. So it's just one of them mad experiences. And then I've come out, and then three lads have been lashed out the bar, and this other lad's come over, and he's like, what have you done to me there? So these other lads, well, I'm not even with them, but they've had me back for no reason other than, lads, what lads? So one of them just tracked this other kid, he's bailed. So these lads who felt me, these must be like, you know, you must be big in the game in there, or they're known in there, because they were a bit of a firm. So I've gone into the corner, mate goes to me, lad, you have to wipe your face. The door lads, I'm like, oh, anyway, come in the back here, gone in the back, I've cleaned myself up and that. And you should have seen me kite, I had proper like, you know, where you just know your face is throbbing, ba. And I'm thinking, my jaw was clicking, I'm thinking, if I broke my jaw there. But I was alright, it just felt a little bit, you know what I mean, a little bit tense. So I said to me, I'm going back out there. He's like, lads, you're best getting off. I said, I'm not getting off. I said, with all them in there. Then, like, the lads had pointed them out. He went, lad, he said, they're in here all the time. He said, they got the grafting in that. He said, they work with us, lad, you know, they throw us a bit of dough, sound. I'm like, are these sound? He's like, lad, yeah. He said, they're proper sound, lad. Now, these door lads are white as well, remember? So if they're working with them and they're doing bits with them, they're not right, they're not like that, they're not the R-word, they're just the lads. So I've come back out, and one of the lads has come over, he's been like, you're alright, he put his arm around me. I'm like, lad, I am sound. I said, yeah, let's get the bar. Goes to the bar, buys them all a bevy. Now they're all just widows, just like, yeah, lads, sound. He says, lad, he says, you're all right. I'm like, yeah, they're all like, listen, lad, sorry about that. He's like, we're going to apologise for him, lad. I went, nah, you don't need to. He went, lad, we do. Because it's little rats like him that are causing the tension, lad. I'm like, I know. And he went, what would you have done, lad? I said, lad, here's what I would have done. I said, I'm going to be honest with you now. I'd have been back next week with an absolute firm, lad. And we would have waited outside and it would have went. And he's like, yeah, not half, lad. I said, but it's not going to happen, lad. He's like, do you want to come to a party with us? I'm like, nah, not my scene. He's like, lad, it is your scene. He said, make it your scene, lad. He's like, listen, lad, we've got nothing but love for you. We're going to bring you there. You'll be proper sound. I'm like, yeah, he's going. And one of his mates is going, lad, she's my mate's sister and all that. I'm like, yeah. So he's on the phone to his, that bird's brother and whatever's going on and all that. So we end up going to this party in Sochi, right? And I walked in and you know what? I did feel a little bit, I'm out of place here. I've walked in, they're all the living room and that. When I say them all, I'm not being like that. I just mean the firm. I don't mean in the R word sort of way. So I walked in and listen to me. I'm the only white lad in there. And I'm just thinking, you know, I'm a little bit wary and all that, but you know what, honest to God, the love, the respect, and just how much they welcomed me, and they were like, listen, lads, this is sound, yeah, lads, what's Aaron, what's your name, and blah, 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 and all this and all that, and I knew a few lads from round there, so I'm like, yeah, he's me mate, they're like, lad, is he? Yeah, he's our mate. I'm like, is he, lad? Yeah, and then next thing this bird's brother's walking, and you know what, he was proper sound. He went, lad, he said, I got told there that you were just having it with all of them. I said, I know, lad. He went, lad, that just means you can protect my sister. And I'm like, nah, lad, they weren't talking down to me. Not one little bit. They were proper sound. And then once we've got on, the night's gone on, I'm talking to them, they're like, oh, lad, yeah. And you know what? It's boss, mate, it's boss. Ends up doing a little network with them and getting bits with them and this, that, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I wasn't expecting it, but I was, you know what, I didn't know what to expect, but, you know, it's mad, it's one of them things that you just like, you know, I would have thought to myself, if I'd have gone in there and it went off, everyone would have just jumped on me, and 3 of them did jump on me, and you know what, hands on heart, it was for none, it was for no reason at all, but you see that little firm who jumped in and intervened, mate, I love them for that, know what, I've got love for them for that, and there's absolutely no doubt about it, because let's be reasonable, let's be serious about it. Without them, I would have got my head absolutely smashed in. There's absolutely no way I wouldn't, because I was running out of, like, you know, when you're gassing out and there's 3 of them, and there's just digs coming from everywhere, so I'm shielding, I'm throwing digs, I put one of them out, and you just know you're getting overloaded, you know what I mean? Your bevies are off your banner, you're worrying about what's happening with that bit, your head's gone, you're in a back, you're just backed in the corner, and you know what, I was just fighting. I'm not saying I was fighting for my life, because none of my blades like that, but I was fighting as hard as I could to just stay on my feet, and I was getting rock, mate. I couldn't see where the digs were coming from. There was just that many of them, and you know, you should have seen the state of my kite was a bit of a heavy weight. So then we go to the party, like I said, and all that. Now the next day I've swapped numbers with a few of them, and he phones me up and he's like, what's happening, lads, what's happening? So I've ended up going back down to this bed, and I've gone in the house, the brother's there and all that. He's like, what? He said, lad, I know who they was. I said, who was they? He's like, only a little firm of rats, lad. He's like, lad, they're not even like round here. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, lad, what do you want to do? So I said, what are the options? He went, well, don't start bringing your firm round here. He said, but if you want to roll with us, then, lad, we'll go down and do them. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, lad, yeah. He said, of course. He said, you know, lad. He said, you're with my sister, lad. He said, you're in my area, lad, and this, that, lad, you know, it sounds. I like, go on, sound. So later on that night, right, he comes in, he's like, are you ready? I said, let's roll, lad. Goes out in this car, right, picks a few of his mates up, right, and I swear to God, they were all standing on the corner like little mingy kids selling weed, you know, the firm who stole on me, and I mean little bellends just on Granby thinking they were on one, and then only muppets, you know, like using Granby and all that, like from years ago to try and intimidate people, lad, I'm from Granby and all that. Well, that was arse, lad. County Road, Breck Road, Smithtown, that it's all the same. Kirby, Bill, lad, it's all the same. It doesn't matter where Granby, that's gone, that was 1980s shit, lad. Well, it was before my time, yeah. Do you think that people are scared of roads? People aren't scared of roads, lad. Yeah, from the streets, lad. Yeah, you want to start all that, we'll start all that. And you know what, this firm, he just jumps out the car, just runs over and absolutely gives it to them heavy. There was about 6 of them, but there was loads of us, right? And we just, half of them started to bail because they seen who I was with. And I, like I said, I went really on these lads, but I'm on them now, and you know what? this story is a massive, massive shout to all them. That is what you call love in LA, yeah? That's what you call love in LA. And I swear to you, do you know what? I love you all, right? And I know you listen to this now. I know my phone's going to blow up of it now. But it is what it is, yeah? No names, obviously. Obviously no names. But do you know what? Love you all, and thank you for that. That's one thing I will never forget, because I was against all odds. Listen to me, it was just one of them nights, and you know, you can say, well, you shouldn't have been in there. Why shouldn't I have been in there? Why shouldn't I have been in there? Why can't I go in there? What? This isn't like that. The city's not like that. Yeah, obviously graft wise it's a bit different, but this wasn't graft. Yeah, this was me going out with me bird on my own, and that's where she wanted to go. So what? I can't go in there. I'll fucking do what I want. Alright, I had a bit of a lucky escape there, but I'll do what I want when I want, and no one will fucking tell me where I can and can't go. Right now, this story, Love in LA, was supposed to be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, but I'm going to drop it now, and I'm going to be like, boom, boom, just going to hit you with things, boom, 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 because I'm in a boss little story mood, so I'm just like off the top, let's go. And what I'm going to try and do is, I'm going to try and drop all the stories as fast as I can, so that I've got that time off yet. So they're going to be in advance, so the timetable is going to be out, but it's going to be in advance, to get what I mean. So what I want to say is, I want to say a big shout to everyone, thanks everyone for getting involved and all that, yeah. And I'm just going to have to do this because I'm going away with the kids, as I just told you on community post. So rather than just like go like quiet and not say nothing and then come back and be all that, I'm just going to be dropping stories left, right and centre at a time, just boom, boom. Could be like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, could even drop another 2 tonight, but I'm going to try and get the stories done so that when I do go away, I can go away just like, yeah, these are sound, they've had what I've delivered, because I like to keep a man of my word, I like to be a man of my word, I like to keep me word, because you kept your word. The channel is absolutely flying, do you know what I mean? And the comments, the shares, the posts, everything's just boss. You know what? I was going to say, you know what I was going to say then? As a content creator on YouTube, I couldn't ask for any more. No. You know what? Oh, that was horrible, that word. I'm not or maybe I am a content creator, I don't know, but am I creating content, or I'm just telling you how it is? Do you know what I mean? You can look at it either way. But yeah, so this one was the Love in LA, right? And it was supposed to be tomorrow night at 7, so I'm going to try and go a day in advance, or a couple of days in advance, you know what I mean? Because my head's gone, you know, I've made a promise to you, and I like to keep my promises. I know you don't mind because you know what's going on, but I'm compulsive, and I've just booked an holiday, so I'm gone for days, and you know, I'm not going to start sitting here on holiday with my kids doing all stories, you know what I mean? I might, don't get me wrong, I might do when they're asleep and that, but I think there's a 4-hour difference in time, so I don't really want to put myself under stress. I'm on holiday, aren't I? And you know, I'm not being funny on it, I've had a rough year, you know, and the last time I went away was May last year, so I haven't been away for ages, so why not, innit? Why not? It is what it is. So I'm going to try and just drop loads of stories for you, and just see what happens. Now, the stats when I drop stories, they're normally shite, and obviously them consecutively, dead quick, but I'm sure it'll catch up by the time I get back, so just get with me on it, yeah, and, you know, just show your support, and you know what, I thank you all, you know, I love you all, and shout to the lads in LA, yeah, you showed me nothing but love there, and you know, I love you for that, I'll never forget that. That's like one of my memories where I was like, you know what, like I was on my own, I never had me fame around me, and you know, in numbers, you sound, and you're on your own, you're vulnerable, you are vulnerable, but to get stolen like that by someone who isn't even an enemy, it was heartbreaking, mate. It was just for being in what, a bar that's got black people in, and I'm not allowed in there. Psh, messing around you, lad, yeah. And you know what? You've got leathered, you've got laughed at, you've got proper laughed at, yeah, by your own firm, you little muppets. I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean anyway. So shout to all lads in LA, yeah. Shout to everyone on Park Road and all that, all the lads who are knowing that, because you know, since I've been rolling with them, not rolling with them, I don't hang around, I've got my own firm and I'm nowhere around it. But you know, when you start doing bits with people, you start like getting to know people, and then this, and you know what? I've never had none but love from them, yeah. Never had none but love from all of you yet. So I thank you and appreciate that yet. So Scouser out.